I'm Kendra Cook, your host for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado. The Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest Colorado TV Translator Association. That's the special district association responsible for bringing the area free-to-access TV stations over the air by antenna. This is the community TV station, so if there's a news story or event information that you would like to share, you can call us at 970-677-4119. And if you're a business or organization, we welcome you to find out about sponsorship opportunities for banners or video segments run on the channel. This is the Wednesday program for April 29th, 2020. DCTV Daily News. The Journal ran an update on Montezuma County's dealings with the current stay-at-home status with Jim Mimiaga's photo. Montezuma County health officials warn that there could be an increase of confirmed COVID-19 cases and urges the community to not let its guard down on prevention measures. Meanwhile, Colorado restrictions have put businesses on the brink of collapse and threatened local economies, services, and jobs, officials said. The county, which initially accepted the state's phased plan to reopen businesses, is now reconsidering an exemption to loosen restrictions so that businesses can bring in more customers. One part of the proposal asks the state to allow local restaurants to open dining areas at 40% capacity with 6 feet between customers, disease monitoring, mask wearing, and disinfection procedures. Quote, "If there is an opportunity, let's work to reopen up county businesses that have been nearly snuffed out," said Commissioner Keenan Ertel. "I agree, let's make a positive move forward and get this plan submitted," added Commissioner Jim Candelaria. But before the exemption plan can be submitted to the Colorado Department of Health and Environment for a decision, it needs approval from the Montezuma County Public Health Department and Southwest Memorial Hospital, according to state protocols. County health officials are reviewing draft copies and submitting comments. A draft plan will be reviewed during a County Board of Health meeting today, Wednesday, at 4 p.m. and will be broadcast on the county's YouTube channel. The commissioners, who also serve as the Board of Health, are counting on a flattening infection rate. Health officials warn it might not have yet peaked. The previous spike was April 2nd, when 3 cases were confirmed. The 16th case was confirmed on April 28th, just yesterday. As of April 23rd, the county tested about 300 people for the disease, with 16 cases, or 5%, coming back positive. 2 deaths were attributed to the virus. But the number of positive cases is likely higher, said Bobby Locke, County Health Department Director, because some infected people do not show symptoms and because there has been no widespread testing. Quote, "I don't think we have reached our peak yet," Locke said. "There are more positives out there in our population walking around and do not know it because they don't have symptoms." Southwest Memorial Hospital operates a drive-through testing clinic and sends nasal swabs to the Colorado Department of Health and Environment for analysis. Results can take up to a week. Limited testing makes it hard to identify who is positive in the community of 26,000 people, said Mark Meyer, infection control specialist at Southwest Health System. "It has been circulating for quite a while," he said. "Another spike is a concern. If there were more widespread testing, quote, possibly hundreds of cases could be revealed," Meyer said. "It's hard to draw a conclusion community-wide with such a small sample," said Carrie White Singleton, Chief Operating Officer for Southwest Medical Group. "The more testing, the more you catch positives. Statewide, 66,300 COVID-19 tests have been conducted as of Tuesday, with 13,879 positives, 210 positives for every 1,000 tests. Health officials said the limited testing highlights the importance of everyone staying at home as much as possible, wearing masks, isolating if sick, staying away from people, and disinfecting in order to stop the spread. The attitude should be that everyone could potentially be infected, health officials said. This is challenging and goes to citizen responsibility and businesses taking responsibility, Locke said. "We are here to educate them and need their help too." She urged that the county take, quote, "baby steps in reopening businesses, in part to avoid closures if there is a spike in cases. Slow and steady wins the race," Locke said. Meanwhile, Montezuma County announced its 16th case of the COVID-19 on April 28th. No cases have been reported in Dolores County or on the Ute Mountain Ute Reservation just south of the state line. San Juan County, New Mexico has reported 463 cases and 37 deaths. San Juan Basin Public Health, which covers La Plata and Archuleta counties, announced on Tuesday that it would delay the reopening of some businesses and workplaces until May 8th. Leon Jolan, director of SJBPH, said the main driving factor in the decision was the fact that the outbreak is hitting residents hard in northern New Mexico, where many people commute to work from La Plata County and vice versa. Outbreak reported in San Miguel County. The Colorado Department of Health and Environment has identified 141 outbreaks of COVID-19, including at a restaurant in Telluride. According to the San Miguel Sheriff's Office, an outbreak of 5 positive cases were connected to Brown Dog Pizza that included 4 employees and a child. They are under a 14-day quarantine, and San Miguel Public Health is taking aggressive contact tracing to advise and protect people who may have come in contact with the restaurant staff. The popular restaurant, which was limited to delivery and takeout, closed after its first employee tested positive. It plans to reopen sometime in May. We've implemented a plan that has been developed by our food safety team and follows CDC-approved guidelines, states a post on Brown Dog's Facebook page. First and foremost is making sure our employees have what they need. We will continue to coordinate with state and local health officials to ensure community protocols are being exceeded. CDPHE defines an outbreak as 2 or more confirmed cases of COVID-19 in a facility or non-household group in a 14-day period. Our Dolores County Commissioners will be meeting next Monday, May 4th, for a regularly scheduled BOCC meeting, and we will be endeavor to cover that and update you next Tuesday as to any official announcements or derivations from following the state guidance for the county during this health crisis. The Journal and Colorado Sun reported on the Safer at Home executive order from our Colorado Governor Jared Polis and what that means for recreation, with a photo Jason Blevins. Colorado is loosening some restrictions on people's movement starting this week as the state enters a new phase of its battle against the new coronavirus. But travel for outdoor recreation is one area that's not being relaxed. In fact, there may actually be stricter limits in place for people seeking some fresh air. Governor Jared Polis's, quote, Safer at Home executive order issued on Sunday night includes a provision ordering Coloradans not to travel more than 10 miles from their homes to recreate. That means activities like hiking, biking, skiing, fishing, and rafting. Quote, travel for recreational purposes should be limited to your own community, like your county of residence, the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment's public health order, which went into effect on Monday morning, says. The new Safer at Home order is in effect through at least May 27th, meaning that Coloradans are expected to stay close to home past Memorial Day, the unofficial start of the summer and a popular weekend for camping and hiking in the past. The fear is that visitors will either contract or spread the virus in areas of the state not as well equipped to deal with mass infections. Quote, you made the sacrifice of staying at home for 32 days, Polis said at a news conference on Monday. Quote, I think you can make the sacrifice of going to your second or third favorite park for another month. The Colorado Sun asked Polis how the state would enforce the 10-mile order, but he didn't have an answer. It takes me almost 7 miles to commute to work. Anyway, some mountain communities already have restrictions on their own for visitation and have been publicly asking non-residents to stay away. The public health order from CDPHE is vague. The agency didn't answer a question about what specific penalties people could face for violating the directive. The order says this order will be enforced by all appropriate legal means. Local authorities are encouraged to determine the best course of action to encourage maximum compliance. Failure to comply with this order could result in penalties, including jail time and fines. The stay-at-home order that expired Sunday allowed for outdoor recreation and actually appeared to okay travel of any distance to do so, though officials encouraged people to stay closer to home. Quote, it's really important to understand we really need everyone to do the right thing, said Mike Willis, director of Colorado's Office of Emergency Management, on a call with reporters on Tuesday afternoon. Polis said Coloradans just need to be patient. Many of our communities that rely on tourism have had high viral count loads because of that tourism and just need more time where they need to get on their feet, he said. We don't want you to go out to an area where you might get the virus because others are congregating there from across the state and other states. And we also don't want people who unwittingly are bringing the virus back to communities that have made great progress at great cost. He added, "It's really important that we respect the wishes of those communities." Many mountain communities, including Gunnison and Clear Creek counties, have enacted policies to keep visitors out. In Gunnison County, violators can face a $5,000 fine. Traveling beyond your community, potentially spreading this to other communities, is a really counterproductive thing to do, Willis said. This isn't the time to grab your family and run up to the mountains and potentially spread it to other communities. Polis said Coloradans should use outdoor recreation areas closest to them. Most Coloradans, I dare say every Coloradan, has numerous municipal parks or county open space within 10 miles of their home, Polis said. But at the same time, on Monday, Polis celebrated the fact that Colorado parks have been able to stay open and said officials were working to allow camping to resume. The Safer at Home order does include a clause that it can be amended or extended at any time. The outdoor recreation industry in the high country has been delaying its spring and summer offerings. One big looming question is whether skiing may resume for a few more weeks. Arapahoe Basin, which has one of North America's longest seasons, has been holding out hope that it may be able to open its slopes. The 10-mile travel limit, however, would appear to make that difficult. Quote, "We're not necessarily trying to open tomorrow," said Alan Henserath, Chief Operating Officer of A Basin. Quote, "Any kind of reopening is going to be a collaborative process with the state and Summit County." Henserath said the ski area has been preparing to reopen when the time is right and is thinking through its options to keep people safe. That includes only having lifts and trails open and keeping its facilities closed. And Henserath said that there's no rush because this year's strong snowfall is looking like it will allow skiing into at least June. "We still have a lot of time," he said. You've probably seen a whole slew of website links for businesses to find resources available to help out economically during this crisis. SBA, the Small Business Administration, continues to offer applications for loan aid with the PPP, as well as a host of smaller local regional groups who offer loans and various short-term ways of helping out. Here in Dolores County, the Dolores County Development Corporation, aka DCDC, has been sending out updates to the list of links and resources, and DCDC is offering an emergency disaster loan fund program in association with Region 9. The most recent focus for everyone now is how to navigate recovery and reopening. Go online to scan.org, that's SCAN.org, for Region 9's resources list and links, or online through SBDC at sbdcfortlewis.org as well. A new COVID-19 Federal Rural Resource Guide can be found at rd.usda.gov or download the PDF there. And over on choosecolorado.com, there's more Colorado-specific information as well as details on the Colorado COVID Relief Fund online at helpcoloradonow.org. And if you want to make a call instead of or in addition to researching online, the Small Business COVID-19 Disaster Response Hotline in Colorado is 303-860-5881, and they can direct you to where you need to be. Our local Dove Creek Chamber of Commerce continues to offer guidance and assistance in navigating these times. Don't forget to jump on the Zoom DC Chamber Chats. They're Tuesday at 10 a.m. A reminder email will go out next Monday, as May 4th is the first real kickoff day for the new reopening orders. It's a great way to keep informed on the Zoom chat, as well as for the latest updates of what's going on at the town and county level from the Health and Emergency Management departments, as well as our local nonprofit resources and business community. I love that one post on Facebook that says we are all together, but we are not in the same boat. It goes on to say we may all be trying to navigate in the same surging waterway, but each individual has specific needs and differences that all look different, and a one-size-fits-all solution isn't going to work. As the, quote, news may seem bleak and dreary and full of panic and fear, it's definitely not a total reflection of what is happening in our lives here in Dove Creek and Dolores County. There are many good stories to tell of hope, of caring, of planning for a brighter future, of people helping one another in little and big ways. Please do appreciate and respect each person's right to feel and react differently to all of the situations being thrown upon us at this time of a health and consequential economic disaster. Kindness and calmness and common sense must prevail. Be safe and healthy. And now let's take a look at our local weather through this weekend. Today, sunny with a high near 75 degrees, and still those north winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour will blow and shift to the southwest. Tonight, mostly clear with a low around 49 degrees with west-southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour. For Thursday, mostly sunny with a high near 80 degrees. Again, breezy with a south-southeast wind at 5 to 10 miles an hour, increasing to 15 to 20 miles an hour in the afternoon. And there is a fire weather watch issued for Thursday afternoon as it is getting so dry out there. Be careful and aware of not starting a fire. For Thursday night, mostly cloudy and then gradually becoming mostly clear with a low around 49 degrees. Evening and overnight, expect the southwest winds at around 5 to 15 miles an hour with winds gusting to 25 miles an hour. And another warm one on Friday, sunny with a high near 80 degrees, east-southeast winds at 5 to 10 miles an hour, moving from the southwest and increasing to 10 to 15 miles an hour in the afternoon. Friday night, partly cloudy and a low around 49. A warm and sunny weekend is also on tap for the beginning of May. For Saturday, mostly sunny and a high near 77 degrees. Saturday night, mostly clear and a low around 46. And repeat for Sunday, sunny with a high near 77. Sunday night, mostly clear and a low around 46. And then for Monday, we're looking for another sunny day, a little cooler at 70 degrees. And Monday night, mostly clear with a low around 38. And now, back to the news. So recently, we've covered some stories following the challenges in testing for the Wuhan novel coronavirus and COVID-19 genetic material. And what is it that is being tested exactly? What do the results mean? And is their quality control enough? As this part of the puzzle is so crucial as to how the rest of these solutions and actions are determined. The Durango Herald reported that now antibody tests for the coronavirus have arrived in southwest Colorado with a photo Jerry McBride. Cedar Diagnostics announced on Tuesday it has the capability to offer antibody tests, which allow patients to discover if they were infected with the virus and may have protective antibodies to fight against it. However, there is uncertainty about the test's reliability and whether antibodies provide immunity from infection. Cedar Diagnostics also has offered testing since April 9th in Durango, Cortez, and Pagosa Springs for people who might have contracted COVID-19. Eric Kirshner, a spokesman for Cedar Diagnostics, said the lab can test as many people as needed. Quote, "We're not worried about capacity," he said. In a news release on Tuesday, Cedar Diagnostics said the antibody test is for people who believe they have fully recovered from COVID-19. The antibody test is a serology or blood test and is very helpful in determining the degree of the spread or prevalence of the virus within our community, Virginia Burdine, medical director at Cedar Diagnostics, said in a statement. That goes to the herd immunity process. Abbott Laboratories created this test for Cedar Diagnostics, which uses it to detect the, quote, IgG antibody to the novel coronavirus. According to the news release, antibodies are produced in the body in late stages of infections and can remain in a person's body for years after recovery. Because the virus is novel, it's unclear how long the antibodies stay in a human. But Burdine said the presence of antibodies might help some people get back to work. Quote, employers, especially essential services providers, are interested in learning which of their employees have had the disease and have now recovered from it, she said. Michelle Roach, Director of Operations for Cedar Diagnostics, said that the lab's tests are more efficient than the fingerstick test, which have produced inconsistent results. The test Cedar Diagnostics uses was approved on Monday by the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA. The antibody test we're offering utilizes a venous blood draw as opposed to a capillary fingerstick. Roach said in a statement, "We are using only the serum of the patient as this is where the antibodies are located." Across the U.S., scientists are scrambling to develop tests that show immunity to the virus, which might help some people get back to work. The FDA approved the first antibody test on April 1st, but questions linger about how long a person's immunity may last. And tests usually show whether a person has antibodies to fight off COVID-19, but not necessarily how well it will fight off the virus. San Juan Basin Public Health said it welcomes any opportunity to get a better understanding of the behavior of COVID-19 in its communities. Quote, "We appreciate that Cedar Diagnostics is providing 2 tests for this purpose. The diagnostic polymerase chain reaction, or PCR test, which determines if an individual is infected by the virus, and the antibody test, which can indicate if patients were previously infected with the virus and now have antibodies to it, helping to understand prevalence of the disease," SJBPH said in an emailed statement to the Durango Herald. In a previous interview, SJBPH Executive Director Leanne Jolin said antibody testing is another piece of the puzzle in combating the coronavirus outbreak, but a lot of unknowns remain with the disease that has been studied for only about 90 days. Quote, "So we have to be really careful what we plan to do with this information," Jolin said. Antibody tests at Cedar cost $30, but the test is covered by health insurance, and there are financial contributions from the community to cover tests for people who don't have the ability to pay on their own. People who believe they might have contracted the virus should call 247-0937, extension 2 for Durango and Pagosa Springs, and extension 3 for Cortez for testing. Again, that's 247-0937. Tomorrow, we'll take a look at what information is out there surrounding the development of a potential vaccine, yes, the V word, which according to data on other flu vaccines does in fact not become a cure-all. In fact, in some years there have been only low functionality in terms of percentages of preventing getting a particular virus, and other times causing more harm to those recipients than overall a vaccine is worth. There is an enormous controversy over following the money trail once again, and issues surrounding personal privacy rights and the potential for mandated inoculations. It's a huge topic with many points of view that become highly charged and emotional. I'll try to break down some of it to reporting on just what's been written, and then you will have to take personal responsibility to come to your own conclusions and act accordingly. The Durango Herald ran a correction piece on the state mistakenly reporting a positive case in Silverton. Spokesman says data entry error led to a false report with a file photo. State health officials mistakenly reported that San Juan County had its first positive case of the coronavirus over the weekend, that according to the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. On its Saturday update, the CDPHE listed 1 positive case in the small mountain community of about 600 residents north of Durango in San Juan County, which took immediate and strict measures during the pandemic, including closing the town to non-residents, had remained one of 8 Colorado counties without a positive case, and Dolores County still remains at 0. But Ian Dixon, a spokesman for CDPHE, said Monday morning a data entry error led to the case being reported in San Juan County. Quote, "It should disappear from the list when we do the 4 p.m. update on Monday," Dixon said. Despite Governor Jared Polis relaxing restrictions to slow the spread of the coronavirus, San Juan County's own public health order remains in effect until Thursday. Health officials in San Juan County said last week it's likely they will extend some form of a public health order beyond Thursday, which will likely hold to the locals' only policy for Silverton. Although there have been no reported positive cases, health officials in Silverton believe the virus is likely within the community. The 7 other counties that have still not reported a positive case include Bent, Cheyenne, Conejos, Dolores, Jackson, Kiowa, and Sedgwick. And today's High Canyon Country happenings. The latest Colorado stats, updated from Tuesday afternoon, read that Colorado has 14,316 cases. That is to say, the number of people who have had a test that indicated they were positive for COVID-19, and when a public health epidemiologist determines that infection is highly likely due to symptoms that they are presenting, and that person had close contact with someone who actually was tested to be positive. They state 2,571 people have been hospitalized throughout 56 counties, and overall they claim 67,094 people have been tested thus far, and sadly, the related notated death toll attribution sits at 736 lost souls. The website covid19.colorado.gov is where you can find this daily update online. And that site also has, if you have questions about what guidance there is now out there, there is a section that divides it by sectors. So child care facilities or field services and real estate have separate and much of the time overlapping guidance documents that you can view or download there. Locally, businesses for the most part are continuing on as they have been, with distancing and mask wearing being the largest adjustment. We are moving into our salon, nails, and haircutting businesses reopening by appointment, which was a sector hard hit by a complete shutdown in March. But for the most part, our Dove Creek community is continuing to supply the products and services for our needs. And in other happenings, the wind is happening, and that's not fun for anyone. We had a fire watch yesterday afternoon, and now another fire weather watch is being put into effect from Thursday afternoon through Thursday evening for wind and low relative humidity for fire weather zones 207 and 295 below 8,000 feet. So Thursday is expected to be the warmest day of the year so far, which will help drive relative humidity below 15%. Breezy southwest winds are forecast to develop during the afternoon, continuing into the early evening. And these conditions combined with dry fuels out there could lead to critical fire weather conditions. The National Weather Service in Grand Junction has issued a fire weather watch below 8,000 feet for wind and low relative humidity, which is in effect from Thursday afternoon through Thursday evening. No fire burning, people. Please be careful out there for everyone's sake, as the impacts are for conditions that may become favorable for the rapid ignition, growth, and spread of fires. No one wants that, so be careful with sparks and other conditions that could create a fire unintentionally as well. And I post up all of these High Canyon Country happenings and on our Facebook page, which is DCTV Daily News, where you can also watch the program replay along with the news, links, and stories of local interest. And you too can share other events or news there and join in on the conversation. Again, this is your local community TV station, so if you have something you'd like to share, contact us by email dcbnnews@gmail.com, or you can call us at the station. It's 970-677-4119, and you'll have to leave a message. Thank you for tuning in to DCTV Daily News. Programs are broadcast Monday through Friday with replays online on our YouTube channel and our DCTV Daily News page on Facebook. And if you do like the program, please do like it and follow us on Facebook and share it with your family and friends. This has been a production of DCTV for the DCTV Daily News program out of Dove Creek, Colorado, USA. I'm Kendra Cook. Again, thank you for watching.